I remember. I was a little girl aged 3 in a world of confusion. I was moved from my grandparents' home for the first time to live with my mother and father. It was a new home in the middle-class area in the town of Holyoke, Massachusetts. I left my grandparents' home in a town called Belchertown. It'd be my first time at the home to actually unite with my real parents. As a child, I only knew my daddy as my grandpa and my grandmother as my mother. I remember my grandpa's loving ways, teaching me growing vegetables in the garden. My grandma's hands tenderly saved me as an infant, as I was premature. She nurtured me as her own and had 5 other children. She truly is an angel. I left the town of Belchertown to live with my real parents and was truly confused. My mother was mentally ill at the time. She was on many medications, leaving an institution. She was a strong, powerful woman who looked like Marilyn Monroe. Her frame was 5'8" and 115 pounds, but her head was messed up from institutions, but now with meds, she'd be better. It was a new life for her as well. I remember when my mother played as a child with me, with makeup and face cream in the mornings in the bathroom mirror. The Flintstone TV show would entertain me as well as Bullwinkle and Gumby and Pokey. Somehow, when she'd get in her mood, the shows comforted me. School days, I remember the first time when my mother and me, in the morning before school, she cooked me toast. I remember walking to preschool with her in a light blue short dress. My mother walked hand in hand. I knew the way quite well. We walked briskly along the road where there, in a row of wrought iron fence, a cemetery yard, across from the school. I brushed my hand along the post to distract the tension inside of me. I remember when leaving home on a bus, it was raining, and I told the bus driver to stop. Not at my house, but at a friend's home, where my friend's name was Jenny. I felt safe there instead of going home. My mother's mood scared me. It was raining. The unknown moods were like demons coming out of a woman so beautiful. She should, I felt, have been an actress or model. Anyway, I had an umbrella open when I arrived at my friend's house, and my shoes were soaked in the puddles. No one was home. Now I had to wait till my dad arrived. 4 hours later. There were times when I would walk back to school to wait for my dad to come get me. I didn't mind the long walk. It was better than having to deal with the mood swings of my mother. My dad was a hard-working man. He worked at a water plant. On weekends, he'd work emptying trash. One time, I wet my pants at preschool. I was so frightened by my new environment. I was picked up by Dad. He didn't flinch and acted as if no matter. We rode in his Jeep to a local McDonald's to get a bite to eat. We arrived back to our new home. We would watch fireworks from off the hood of the Jeep. I wet pants within change and off to my new room, where I played with a puzzle he bought me. The puzzle had a picture of a floppy-eared beagle, which he had a dog that was a beagle before. I played with my dad on the bedroom floor, fitting the puzzle pieces on the board. Eventually, over time, I would do it on my own. At times, my father had no tolerance for my mom's mood swings. One day, I sat to play by myself under a kitchen table in the new home. My father came home from a long day's work and then argued with my mom. The majority of the day was quiet, but she seemed quite nervous. They fluttered about the room. His voice was getting louder. Suddenly, I took notice. I stopped my imagination from playing. The sounds of yelling and hitting and brawling. I felt safe from under the table. My blonde hair was tousled, and I was still in my wet pajamas from the morning's bed. I never got up dry. All at once, there was silence, and it seemed like my mother had the upper hand. And it was all to remember. Later that evening, I slept on the couch in the living room parlor, crying and wishing to be home. I missed my grandparents tremendously, and I filled my pillow with tears. I was so exhausted from crying, I finally fell asleep. These were the times as a child that I remember.